Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, November 3rd. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So give me a few moments to set up this room real quick, and then we will get started with our analysis shortly. So it's a few things to update here. And then we will get started with reviewing US30 for the day. All right, that's good. All right, solid. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right. All right, as people make their way in, I'm going to go and mark up the zones over here real quick. Good. And next we will drag this down a little bit. All right, solid. Morning, Maria. Morning, Kenny. Morning, everybody. So let's see. Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, November 3rd. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I've marked up the zones over here so far. Next thing I'm going to mark up is going to be news price. If there is news this morning, let me check the calendar real quick. We are on November 3rd. Looks like we had a lot of news this morning, non-US. Let's see. We had US news over here at 5:30. We had unemployment claims, prelim non-farm productivity, prelim unit labor costs, and trade balance. So all this news here was negative. I'm going to mark that up on the chart real quick. 5:30. And unfortunately, guys, the trades that I took last night, there's only two of them. Both of them did hit stop loss. There was a thing that I did know that there was news coming up yesterday, but I didn't know if it was going to affect the market. It actually did, and it caused a full-on reversal. So for those trades, I only took them with 1% risk, so it wasn't really that big of a loss. It was partial. But yeah, there was a lot of news here in the morning. So there was news over here at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and 2:30 a.m., and a lot of high impact news here at 5. So it's all good. I mean, it happens. That's why it's key that you guys use proper risk with every trade. I have another trade that's coming up over here that I'm possibly looking at for UJ, another V1 continuation. So if this closes, in the next, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, then I will be taking this right here as well. So I'll show you guys this by 7 o'clock. And I'll see if there's anything else for us to take here as well. So we'll continue looking for that there. But for now, I've marked up news price right here. This is 5:30 a.m. US news. It was negative. Got that marked up right there. And the FX pairs are just for like whoever wants to trade FX, right? A lot of these are just set and forget trades. I'm not necessarily checking on them. I'm just taking them, letting them run to full TP. Prior, I would use partial TPs, but for now, I'm just letting them run because they're meant to be longer hold trades. But other than that, let's see what we got here. So I've marked up the zones. I've marked up news price. I think there is more news coming up today. Let me check real quick. We have news at 6:45, 7, and 7:30. So let me mark that up over there as well. So we got 6:45, 7, and 7:30. Yeah, that's about it. Let's take a look at the overall direction now. So looking over here, retail sentiment is currently 66% short, looks like. So 66% short, and fundamentals are currently down 200 points. Let's take a look at the 4-hour trend real quick. 4-hour trend is currently bullish. One-hour bearish. 30-minute bearish. 15-minute bearish, and obviously the 10-minute is also bearish. So we have a bearish bias on the short-term direction. Long-term direction, it's still bullish. So we'll see, obviously how this moves. This might continue to drop a little bearish until tomorrow. Tomorrow's NFP. So we'll and obviously we'll see that happens. It looks like the 4-hour might start turning bearish, but I mean, we'll have to wait and see for that. We don't want to take any unnecessary risk here. So, all right, other than that, I think this is it for right now. 6:28 right now, market's going to open shortly in about 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and mark up market structure over here so you guys can see how market is currently moving. And we'll also take a look at the breakout too. So the breakout, I know we haven't really been taking it consistently, but I think if everything lines up solidly, possibly be a good move. The breakout's like one of everybody's favorite moves. So we'll see where that goes. Let me turn on the sessions real quick. Make sure there's no sessions that are too close. So it looks kind of spread out. I mean, it's not super bad, but we'll see when the market opens shortly. So right now the market's going to open in about 20 seconds, guys. If we get a strong red candle, then that would technically be the breakout for today. Short-term bias is bullish. I mean, it's bearish. Long-term bias is bullish. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but I think if we get a sell here for the breakout, shouldn't be too bad. So, all right, guys, market is opening. Our market is now open. So if you get a strong red candle here, this will technically be the breakout. I'll see how it looks when the candle closes. We have about 40 seconds left on this candle here. If the candle's too big, I'm probably not going to take it because it's going to have to retrace a bit. I might wait for retracement before making the entry. But even if I do take the entry, I'll probably take it with the trailing stop or for a partial move. Because, I mean, we don't really know how the market's going to move shortly. This candle's got about 20 seconds left on it. So if this is a strong red candle, this would technically be the breakout. Just keep that in mind. So looking at this here, I might take it for a partial move. I don't know if I'll take it for the full move because it is it's a pretty big candle. This candle is closing in about 4 seconds. See where it goes from here. So I take it for a partial move right there. I just locked in 100 pips, pulled in, pulled out. I'm going to see. I might just keep hopping in for partial moves as price continues to move along. But this here is the breakout for today. So as I mentioned, the candle's kind of big, so I was kind of waiting for a possible retracement, but yeah, just took it there for a partial move. So We'll see where it goes next. Let me take a screenshot of my profit so far, just to show you guys where I'm at. So you can see the market is kind of moving. What the hell? I don't know what happened. My MFF gave me a loss. I don't know how that even happened. That's so weird. I hate MFF. MFF is starting to get more and more on my nerves as the day goes, but I don't know how that even happened. My FTMO got a loss too for some reason. I don't know how that happened either. So weird. I don't know if there's slippage going on or whatnot, but you guys can see those are my profits so far. Yeah, I don't even know how that happened. I guess there was slippage across all my accounts because my main account got 1,160, and then my FTMO copier got -40. My personal account got -2. MFFs both got -90, -140, and then my TFF only gave me 200. That's like the weirdest. I've never seen that happen with my copier before. So it might have been an issue with my copier. So I take that back. Maybe I don't hate MFF as much, but still. Weird thing that happened there. That's so weird. I've never seen that happen. I don't know if that's happened to anybody else. But there, it looks like there might be an issue with the copier. Okay, I might have to take a look into this. If this happens to you guys, the unfortunate thing is that you can't do anything about this because when you use the copier, they basically make you agree that, you know, if there's any issues, it's not their fault. I mean, thankfully it wasn't a big loss, but it was like a -$40. Yeah, it's weird. So Rashida said her copier was negative also. All right, so I'm not in this breakout right here, guys. Just want to FYI. I did see it as being kind of risky because the candle was too big, so I only took it for a partial move. But I'm not holding it for the full move, obviously. We're just following it. So this is exactly why I didn't want to take the trade. So here's the thing, guys. Whenever you see a big candle like this, see this big red candle, this is where the entry would have been made. If the candle is too big like that, it's due for retracement. So that's why I didn't take the full move here. I only took it for a partial move. As soon as it opened, I took it for a quick 100 pips. I mean, either way, if it won or lost, I wasn't going to count this trade. I just was taking it as a speculative move. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this real quick. iPhone's asking, Sean, did you get a payout with TFF? I want to make sure they're paying people out. Yeah, I did. I got the first payout. Still waiting for the next one. So we'll see. I'm also trying to see if they're consistent too, iPhone, because I don't know if they're just good on the first one and then they start to get weird on the second and third one, or, you know, the following ones. So I haven't opened any other accounts with them yet. I just have that one account. I do also mention that CNBC released news that Dow dropped 200 points. That's probably why the price is reversing right now. The Dow news over here typically is like a reversal, not a reversal indicator, but this is a sentiment. This could be used as a sentiment as well. So whenever CNBC reports something, market typically does the opposite. It says here that it drops 200 points after the Fed dashes hopes for a pivot to softer tightening stance. And then what happens is market makers do the opposite and swing price up. So, all right. So we don't have any official entries yet, guys. The breakout I just told you was, you know, that was like a speculative move. I wasn't ever planning on holding it for the full move anyways. But with my accounts here, for some reason, it gave me some negative. So I'm going to go and just post this up in the group real quick to, you know, just bring some awareness so that you guys can see. Partial profit off the US30 breakout 5 session. However, all my copier accounts gave a small loss. So this is just an FYI, guys, so that you guys are aware. Because Seems like it's an issue that's running with like a couple other people too. It's not just me. See, Davidson, my FTMO got stuck and my buy was stuck and stopped out, calling it a day. Yeah, David. Main account. Anything else? So I don't know if it's the copier or if it's just MC4 in general, because David over here had a loss too for what I don't know what happened with his. Same thing. He had a win over here when he first on one of the trades, but then he also had a loss. So I don't know what's going on with I don't know if it's MT4, FTMO, whatever. But yeah, even David over here, that's weird, right? Like he locked in a loss there, but he hopped back in, locked a win. So yeah, I can't really tell you guys what the issue is, but it seems like a lot of people are having issues. I had issues with my copier. Rashida had issues with her copier, and then David over here, he took 2 trades and then he had one that lost and he had one that win. It looks like his MT4 got stuck. That's weird. So I think there might be execution issues with MT4 today. So I don't think it's the copier's fault. It might not be the copier's fault. It might just be MT4 in general. I mean, we'll see. I'll try to take another trade if I see something come up, but it looks like it's something that's widespread. So just an FYI, guys. That's weird. I've never seen execution times get stuck like, well, I mean, I've seen them get stuck, but not like for everybody. So I think this might be the issue. Check my phone. I was gonna see if my main account shows profit. It should. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. My main account shows profit and it shows that it hit CP. It just looks like the other trades that copied it froze up for some reason. So I guess any trade that happened during that period, some people's, the trades got stuck, some of them didn't. Okay, so maybe it's not MFF's fault. Might just be MT4 in general. So here's my, I'm still looking for trades, guys, so don't worry, I'm not missing anything here. Seems like all right, so I just want to give you guys another little update there so that you guys can see. The main account. All right. So just be aware, guys. Marco said the Russians are taking our money to losses the same way. Yeah, I mean, it's this weird situation with like MC4 in general. We'll keep rolling with it. So I'm going to mark up opening price right here. All right, so price is pushing up right here. With price pushing up, I'm looking for, there was an SR rejection scalp right here, but it was right at news price, so we couldn't take that. It would have hit full TP too right there. So full TP right there for the SR rejection scalp. There was a red flag, so we would have skipped it. I'm looking for some continuations over here. V1 continuations, also looking for, there's another one right here, but I think this candle's too big. Yeah, it's way too big. So another SR rejection scalp right there, but you can see how this candle is way too big. We can't take this trade. But I'm looking out for like pretty much whatever I can find. V1 continuations, maybe not regular variations, but V1 continuations, SR rejection scalps, and high-low quick scalps. I mean, if I could find something. Yeah, candle's still too big here. This is an SR rejection scalp, but the candle here is just a little too big. The wick here is past the stop loss. It's just due for retracement, so I wouldn't take this trade here. Thanks, Madhu. So Madhu says a 10-minute daily close. So this is the daily entry for today. I'll keep it marked up, so it looks like we might be looking for buys. So we'll see if price continues to move up, and we'll just ride it up with it. This right here is the SR rejection scalp, but we can't take this trade again. Candle here is too big. Let's see. Seth mentioned perhaps a food for thought before committing a trade. Try your MT4 copy or daily on a 0.1. See how it moves. It doesn't matter what the setup is or not. Just as a guide to see how these brokers are doing for the day. Price is at 32K mark. These are highly manipulated areas. Yeah, no, and I agree with you too, Seth. So what Seth mentioned is like every day before you take your first trade, take a 0.01, like a penny trade, just to see how the execution times are working, right? Let me take this off. We're not in this position. Yeah, I would recommend doing that too. I used to do that before, but it's been working for a while. And it looks like today it's just had, the issues. So thanks for the tip there, Seth. I'm probably going to start doing that too. I'll just look for like any pre-market entry, and then I'll just take like a small 0.1 lot size to pretty much just to see where it's at, or do it on the breakout. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, and it'll be like a penny trade, so it's not really a huge deal. So I'll probably try that out on the next one. Just to see how the market is executing, making sure there's not the same issues, because this could have been really bad. Like say, for example, if my account got stuck right here, like say if it got stuck for too long, right? Like right here, I'm only down like $100. So it's not like I'm down like $1,000. They could have been down 1,000 or more if the execution never went through. So I guess I don't have much to complain about, but still. So yeah, no, we'll keep an eye out on that. So anyways, there's news coming up right here at 6:45. So there's another SR rejection scalp, but not one we could take because obviously news is coming up. Looks like it would have hit TP already anyways. So let's see what we got over here. News is coming up right now in about a minute, or about 5 seconds actually. Here goes price swings back down. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of erratic movement here. Throughout the chart. So you want to be a bit careful with these entries here. A lot of fake outs. You can see here on the clean chart, it's a little easier to see. Update this real quick. So prices is just in a big range right now, but I'll mark up opening price and like the hourlies so that you guys can see. So 6:30. $7 and $8. As you guys can see, there's not really much movement here. I'm gonna go to mark up opening price as well. So this is opening price right here. And as you guys can see, there's not really much movement. Price faked out to the bottom, came back up, faked out, came back down, faked out, came back up, faked out. And now price is right here. Huge gap in price right here. Not an actual gap, but gap in data. So you can see this big space right here. The market is definitely moving kind of funky today. If you guys can see, I don't even know how this even happened right here. There's a huge space in price. There's obviously data issues. There's been data issues all week this week, if you guys remember. This isn't necessarily a real gap. I mean, it's kind of weird because so right here, it shows a big wick, but if you look on MC4, it's actually a full-on candle. And this has been such a weird market this week, huh, guys? So looking at this over here, even on, let me see the other, it's black. There's a big wick on there too. Black bull. So black bull over here looks like the candle is full. And it's just weird. So there's a invalid momentum right there. There's no momentum here. Actually, the momentum came on the previous candle. Check Owanda. So Owanda as well. I don't know. We've been in a weird week so far. If you guys have seen, I mean, if you guys have been on these live sessions all week, we've had a lot of this happen where there's been like data issues where things will just, I don't know, gap around. They're not real gaps, but they're just it's data gaps. Like this right here has been, I don't know, currency.com has kind of been all over the place. Maddie said TradingView is lagging super hard. Maria said there's a huge difference from MC4. Rashida said for the 10-minute daily. So question from Rashida, she's asking for the 10-minute daily, the trend meter doesn't have to be green for the buy. So it depends on which one you're applying, Rashida. So if you're doing the basic one, I mean, so you are right in a sense, but it depends on like who is applying the strategy, right? So for me, I wouldn't take this daily here because not all criteria is met. Let me put the requirements over here for the daily. Because if you're using the original breakout, we didn't really use any other confluences, right? We just kind of took the trade. Let me put this thing back on there. We just took the trade, and actually, let me go back to this. So Madhu, this is actually not the breakout because you have to take the one after opening candle. This one right here was at 6:30, so you have to look for the one after 6:30. So sorry for the confusion, guys. You know, everyone kind of does it a little differently. This right here is the this is the 3 minute, sorry. Let me go to the 10. Okay, so you want to look for entry after the open. So this is the opening candle. You can't count the opening candle for the breakout. You have to look for the one after it. Also, you want to confirm overall bias. So with Rashida, she is asking if the trend meter has to be green. Technically, it sort of has to be green, or the fundamentals and retail sentiment have to be pointing in one direction. So retail sentiment is long, so that's okay for a buy. However, fundamental bias is bearish. It's down 200 points right here. And also, technical bias is bearish, right? Trend meter is red. So there's a lot of reasons why this right here would actually not be the daily. I totally missed it because I thought this was a 640 candle, but this was actually the 650 candle. This here might be the breakout. If this actually closes here, then this may be the breakout for today, because this one actually does meet criteria. This one is the first momentum candle after 630. This candle right here was on 630. Overall bias here is bearish. So retail sentiment is bullish. Fundamental bias is bearish. Technical bias is also bearish. So 2 to 1, it's bearish. And this actually does meet the criteria. So thanks for bringing that up, Rashida, because I know there's a lot of confusion. You know, obviously the higher probability, the better. So you obviously want to use that. But if you're using the very bare bone basic strategy, then this also would still be the entry, where it doesn't require overall bias, because you're still looking for the entry after 6:30 a.m. So sorry again for the confusion, guys. Maddie said the FTMO website is also down. So I don't know, weird day today. Maddie said FTMO website's down. Mauricio said the Pepperstone chart is on point. I mean, just in general, I mean, the market shouldn't be really messing, or I mean, the data shouldn't be all messed up like this. but we'll still look for entries. So now that price is below the pivots and price is angling down super heavy, we'll look for some variation or some V1 continuations for a sell, possible SR rejection scalps, and maybe some high-low quick scalps. So there was another SR rejection scalp right here, as you guys can see, but it was right at the opening price. So we couldn't take that trade there. If you guys did take that trade there, though, it would have been a full TP, obviously. Right there. So there's entries coming up. The only problem is that they're like in areas where, we can't really take trades. Like there's a bunch of red flags all over the place. Now that price drops down a little further, it'll continue down. Yeah, Seth said wish he had held a breakout. I know, same here, right? This would have been straight down to the bottom. So let's see. It's a huge drop. It's 1,550 pips. If you guys recalled yesterday, price wasn't even moving 1,000 pips. So the volatility today is super, super high compared to what it was yesterday. But you guys can see here how messy the chart is, right? So if I just take off some of these indicators real quick to show you, you guys can see how messy the chart is, right? This is when market opened. Right here at 6:30. So price dropped a little bit, faked out, came right back up, faked out, came back down, faked out, came back up, faked out, and now it's like way down here. So there's really no direction here. If you go and just mark up the directions of price, so market opened here, went down, went up, went down, went up, and then went straight down here. So super, super messy movement here. No clear direction at all. Let me check my UJ trade over here. So possibly a UJ entry right here. Let's eyeball it, 3% risk. About 5 minutes left on it. The problem with this here is that this candle is kind of big, but we'll see where this goes. This candle here is a little too big. Anyways, we got about 6 minutes left, so I'll come back to that later. We are back at US30. There's nothing to take right now, guys. So we're looking for a high to establish. If we get a high and it's a double body or double wick, that'll be a V1 continuation. We can take that for a sell. It's so far from the zone, so we're not going to get any SR rejections anytime soon. And then possibly some high-low quick scalps, but either way, we're looking for a high. So we have a sell momentum right here, trend meters red. In order for us to take any entries, the only thing that we can look for is a high. So you can see how price dropped from this point, sell signal right here, price drop below. We're looking for the retracement and continuation back down. So this is what we're looking for. The problem with this here is that we have news also coming up right here at 7 o'clock. So it's a lot of stuff going on right now, but this is the pattern that we're looking for. We're looking for the retracement back up, establish a high. Once it has that, if we get a double body or double wick, we can take that for a sell, and then we continue writing that down further. UJ over here. Currently setting up, see how it plays. Still got about 4 minutes left. Let me check the other ones here. So this one, odds CAD hit full TP. There's actually another buy right here as well for odd CHF. I don't really like odd CHF though. This pair moves super slow. So you can see, I mean, it's like a 15 pip move, which could probably take forever. Odd JPY, nothing there. Odd NZD, nothing there. Odd USD, nothing there. At CHF, there was one right here that was pending, or actually this was a setup right here. Actually it was pending, but it never actually closed. Okay, JPY. This one over here is running. This is the regular intraday entry. This happened at 4 o'clock though, so I couldn't take it. Obviously, I was asleep. EJ over here, this was a normal intraday entry, full TP. Another intraday entry right there, full TP, which happened last night. Missed that one. Euro odd. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. We have a buy signal. Buy signal. EJ over here, there was an intraday entry that came up yesterday, or actually 2 days ago, full TP. And then a bunch of V1s. So V1 right there, full TP, another V1 right there, full TP, another V1 right there, full TP. I was trying to apply it on the 4 hour, but the 4 hour doesn't really happen too often. So you might have to look at these right here on the 1 hour. So a bunch of full TPs right there. Nothing right there off that. Nothing right there off that. GCAD, nothing there. So I think UJ is probably the only entry that I really have, available right now. So I'll take a look at that. A lot of these trades here, they're just set and forget trades. So I'm not really looking to touch them at all. I'm just going to take them and then let them run. USD CHF, regular intraday entry right there, full TP. Another intraday entry right here too. That happened last night. Another full TP there as well. So a lot of these longer holds they're definitely working. It's just a little bit of a longer wait for these here. Des was asking about the trades from last night. So the trades from last night were risky because there was news last night at that around London time, and there were euro pairs. So unfortunately, they actually did a full-on reversal when the news happened around 1 a.m. last night. So I only took a 1% risk, so I only lost a little bit off both of those. When the trades are risky like that, or if I know they're not going to be like the best, I'll take a smaller risk. Typically, I take a 3% risk, which I mean is not that bad either, because my first 3 trades were 3% risk, so I made pretty good profit on all of those. So I made about 9% prop, 9% total gain off those accounts. And then I have a 2% loss from last night. So I'm still up like 7%, which is a lot for like just a couple of days. Usually on the 4 hour time frame, I'll go for a smaller risk because those trades last forever. So I'll be holding that for a long time. I'll be holding the trades for like, I don't know, a whole day. For these 1 hour trades that come up more often. Fuck, man, I missed the trade. How did I miss that? Sorry, I'm gonna have to skip it. I missed it. If it comes back and retraces, I'll take it. But yeah, the UJ over here closed like it literally closed as soon as or it dropped as soon as it closed. I'm not going to enter this late. So here's the thing, guys. If you guys see an entry like this, this is what I was looking for. We have a double body right here. So this is a V1 continuation. We have a sell momentum right here, double body right there, which is a reversal pattern. So price dropped, came back up, gave a reversal pattern right there for price to continue back down. I'll wait for this to come back up. I mean, if it comes back up, I'll enter it in drawdown for basically a discount. But I'm not going to enter it late because this messes with your risk reward. If you enter down here, you pretty much give away like a portion of your profit. So like I know sometimes you feel greedy and you want to hop in, but this is a 1 hour chart, so you can wait for it to possibly retrace and then maybe make it entry a little later. I'll just set an alert right here so that I can come back to it. One hour V1. All All right, so I sent an alert right here. When price comes back to break even, which it might do because it might retrace. This candle here is kind of big. I'll come back to this and possibly make an entry. There's also news right here, so it's kind of risky, but not super risky. That's probably why the price dropped, because of the news event. All right, so here's the news candle right here. Price. Man, these candles are so weird. Do you guys see this? I see the same candle on MC4 too, though. So I don't know how price got to this point up here, but it basically gapped. So you see how this is a red candle right here? This candle should have been open right here, but it opened way up here. If you look at MC4, it has the same thing there too. If you guys see that. Let me check the other chart, because this is like really weird how the market's, yeah, it's the same thing here or let me check this real quick. Which one do you guys like to use? Global Prime? Okay. Okay, so this is actually accurate, right? This is how the candle is supposed to look. I don't know what's going on with the data over here, but the candle should not have opened up here. The candle should open down here. You can see from Global Prime right here, the candle did open from down here. It spiked up and then it came back down. So there's a lot of data issues going on with these brokers. I don't think it's just currency.com. I think there's a couple other brokers that are having issues. FTMO is probably having the same issues as well. I don't know what broker data they're using, but if you look at the charts on MT4, you actually see this right here. This is incorrect. Like, there's no way this can happen. Where price closes down here and then it reopens up here. This is how it's supposed to look. Whenever you look at these candles, they're supposed to connect. So, for example, you have a green candle here, a small gap right here is fine. And then price continues down, continues down, continues down. This is normal. But then again, there's a gap right there too. So it seems like a lot of these brokers are all having some sort of data gap or data issue. Currency.com is having really bad data issue because this closed down here. So the entry should have been, so let me just show you real quick. So you see how this candle closed down here? The next candle should have opened right here, right next to it, because it would go up or down from this point, right? If you go forward by one candle, the candle started from up here. So instead of starting from down here, it started from up here, which makes 0 sense. This right here is actually accurate. Let me go back to that same candle. Okay, so this candle right here closed below. And the candle should open next to it, right? That's proper. This one here did open next to it. The problem is the next candle over here, it doesn't have the same thing. So again, right here, this candle should have opened down here, right? But it actually opened up here. So there's a data issue with Global Prime as well. It's maybe not as bad as currency.com, but there's still a data issue with both of them. So just something to keep in mind. I mean, this might be a sign to take it easy today again. We've been taking it easy all week, so it's kind of unfortunate that we're getting caught in these trades here, but it's better to be safe than sorry. But the same data gap right here happened on MT4 as well for FTMO. So, I mean, to some of you guys, it might be a big deal. Like for me, it's a big deal because it can mess with our entry points. But for some people who don't understand it, it might not be a big deal. So it's not something to really worry about too much. It's just something to keep in mind. Because if there's a data gap there and you enter a trade, your trade's going to be all screwed up, right? Especially on MT4, because MT4 had the same data gap right here for my FTMO. So just keep that in mind, because you know your trades might not close the way that you want. Like you might have the same issue that I had earlier with my initial trades where this happened. Anyways, Scotty over here posted some profits. He's currently up 1,480 for the day. Nice work right there, Scotty. Looks like you took that trade about 6 minutes ago on the candle open for the hourly. So nice push up right there, following the long-term bias. David over here as well. So David said, I think it's an MT4 issue. He's running a challenge on a new FTMO account. When I entered a buy, the trade got stuck. Same with my Forex fund. Something's weird with my FTMO. My sell was in profit 85. When I closed, it got stuck again. So David over here opened another account. He's trading manually on both his FTMO and his MFF, and he got his trade stuck again right here. He was in profit 85, but when he closed, he got negative 10. All right, so I'm probably gonna sit out the market for a little bit, guys. I'm gonna wait and see if anyone else is having having issues here, or if it's getting better. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna, unless I see something really good, I'm not gonna risk it. But it looks like they're both having issues. MT4, that's crazy. So yeah, David was in profit $85 and he closed it. He lost $10, and then he tried it again right here and it was fine. I don't know what's going on. Seth over here with some profits. Seth's probably, or let's see, he's up 15,456 for the day. All wins, no losses. Nice work, Seth. So it looks like you might not be having issues with your execution. Damn, even my Telegram is freezing up. So Telegram just closed up on me. But anyway, Seth over here, all wins and no losses. I think this is on your Cedar account, right? Seth, so maybe, maybe it's just broker to broker. Some brokers are having issues. Looks like FTMO and MFF are both having issues. Yeah. Seth is on a Cedar FX account and it's executing just fine for him. All right, good to know. And Kip said another 100 points and the bottom falls out. All right, guys, so just FYI, you might want to be careful. You might want, if you want to keep trading, I would probably just take a smaller lot size. So like if shit happens, at least you don't lose too much, or you don't end up in too much of slippage. So we'll see. I mean, either way, there's no entries for us to take at the moment, so it's not like really missing on anything. Let's see, we had news over here at 7 o'clock. I'm going to mark that up real quick. The weird thing with this is this isn't even where news open. So I don't know if I should even put the news candle right there. News is actually open down here. So I'll just put it right here, guys. I don't want to put it up there and then we mix it up, because the actual price where news closed at was down here. 7 o'clock US news. And the manipulation right now is super crazy in the market. There's just too many fast moves and then price kind of gets all over the place. The crazy thing about this is that price didn't even move like this during COVID. I mean, price did move fast, but we didn't have all these data gaps. The trades were still executing perfectly fine. Actually, I take that back. There was a couple of days where the market was moving kind of crazy. I think when we first went into lockdown, the market did this a lot for like that first week, and then it started to smoothen out. Dejan said, "Is this my first time hearing Sean swear?" Or somewhere. No, I've said that a couple of times. You probably just weren't here, or you probably were in class. Anyways, guys, back to the charts over here. We have a sell momentum that's coming back up. So if we have this right here, we can possibly, or there is an SR rejection scalp, but as I said, I'm not looking to take anything right now because of how the charts are moving. Sorry, back to 1 minute. So there's an SR rejection scalp right here. It already hit full TP. There was a wick rejection right here off of the SR zone. Trend meter is red. Moderate red candle. And the zone there is gone. So, I mean, depending if you had the zone there, if you didn't, there could have been a possible entry there. Yeah, I've been noticing that too, Maddie. Like lately, these zones here just keep, I mean, they appear, then they disappear. Let me go back to this entry candle. Let me see if it's still there or if it was there. Yeah, so there's actually no zone right there. The zone actually disappeared for me as well. So there's still nothing for us to take right here. Still looking for a possible V1. UJ over here already made its way halfway to full TP. Keep watching and I'll see if it comes back down. All right, so still no entry here for us, guys. I'm looking to take at least one more. So here's the zone again. It popped up. So I'm just not going to fill it in. I'll leave the zone as is. And then if it stays, then it stays. If not, then we'll just keep it on there. So I'll draw it in once it's established because it looks like it keeps disappearing whenever price bounces around. I'll leave it up there for about a couple minutes. Typically after like the first couple minutes, it'll stay up. Looks like there's a lot of zones today. So there's another one down here as well. You know, here's like one thing that I was also playing around with this week. I was kind of revisiting the zone to zone strategy. So like, for example, over here, price is pulling back into the zone. If this candle here closes below, my target price point is going to be the next zone down here. So if this here closes below the zone, this is where I expect it to go. Down to this point over here. At some point. Or if this closes as a buy signal, this can push back up. And then if it closes above here, then possible push up to the zone over here. See if the zone is still down there. Zones actually is down there. All right. So yeah, like pretty much this whole week, I was pretty much revisiting a lot of our old strategies that we used to use a lot. This strategy doesn't necessarily work very good on US30 because it's a different type of asset. We only trade this during New York where volatility is high, but I was testing it on like the 4-hour time frames over here, like on all the Forex pairs, because this is the strategy that I used to use before for all the signals. So basically like this right here. And I'll just show you an example because we don't have anything on US30 right now anyways. But yeah, so this is what I was looking at. So if you guys remember the zone strategy, basically the 4-hour zone strategy, this is basically the zone to zone trading strategy. You see how price came below with the sell signal, price came back above. As soon as this candle right here closed below it, structure, target price point is the next zone, because the way that this strategy works is it's the zone to zone. So price will close right there. And this is how I used to call every signal when I used to call signals. Stop loss would be right there. TP would be down here. You let the trade run. And there you go, full TP. Once you get the swing back to the upside, like you get a buy signal, like right there, target price point obviously would be this zone over here, right? And it plays out. So if you guys remember when I used to call signals, this was a strategy I used for like pretty much everything. Again, right here, another sell signal. And then possible drop down from there. And you can see right there, it does hit TP. So like pretty much 3 back-to-back huge TPs right here. This was for like 202 pips. This was for 136 pips. This was for 158 pips. So I've just been like reviewing a lot of these old strategies. I mean, they still work very well. It's just I haven't used them because I haven't been trading on the higher time frames. But you know, now that I'm trading Forex pairs again, I just like at night, it's, you know, it still hits pretty nice. Yeah, that was a 4-hour chart, Maddie. I don't know if you were around back then. Were you around when I was calling signals? Because I don't know if you came like after or before. Yeah, so you weren't around. I used to call trade signals for like years before I started trading US30. And we did pretty good with it. It was just I got tired of being on the charts all day. So I stopped trading it. I mean, it was good money. Like I could still trade it if I wanted to, because it's not a hard strategy. It's just it takes a lot of time because you won't get any entries for like days, if not weeks. But when you do get an entry, it's usually a pretty big one. So if you guys are curious about that strategy, or if you guys are new and you guys weren't around when I was calling you know, Forex signals, it's called I forgot what it's called. I think it's called the 4-hour. I know it's the 4-hour zone to zone strategy, or SR zone strategy. I think that's what it's called, 4-hour SR zone strategy. But all my Forex pairs were based off this. It's basically zone to zone, because the thing with Forex is that it's a ranging asset. So you see price go back and forth a lot. For US30, it's not like that. US30 is a directional asset. So you'll see it go down for a while, or you'll see it go up for a while. So it doesn't really work as well on US30 as it does for Forex pairs, because they're totally different assets. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Like not every asset's the same. They some of them move very differently. Kenny, thanks for this right here. So Kenny sent me, is this live right now, Kenny? Or is this something that you're just, oh, so this was 3 days ago. Kenny is sending me this video from 3 days ago. He basically mentioned that China is threatening to dump $1 trillion to crash the US economy. Yeah, no, I could see that. I mean, well, it's always going to be that way. There's always going to be stuff happening with China, right? I mean, we're pretty much in debt to China too. Keep borrowing money from them. Yeah, no, I can see that. Let's take a big short against the US, which should be the DXY. So if you guys are not familiar with like the dollar index, this basically illustrates the direction of the US dollar. I mean, it's pretty bullish right now, but yeah, maybe it'll come down at some point. That was about 3 days ago, and that news release was let out, right, Kenny? So today's Thursday. 2, 3. So it looks like maybe when that news event happened, price did drop a little bit right here, but it wasn't really that much. But yeah, this right here is a DXY, it's a dollar currency index. So this shows you how strong the dollar is. Back to US30. There's still no entries here. I mean, there was a V1 that was possibly coming up right here, but it was, you can't really tell what kind of candle that was. And I don't think they were on the same level either. Yeah, they weren't. So no V1 continuation there. There's no double body on the same level. I'm still looking for entries, but there's nothing for us to take right now. There's a lot of red flags up here. So there's a bunch of red flags right there. So even if we were looking for any type of buy at this point, we wouldn't be able to take it. This is not a V1, wasn't on the same level. No SR ejections, no high-low quick scalps. I mean, nothing really at the moment. Yeah, Maddie said there could have been a possible quick scalp, but no wick. Yeah, so no wick right there. The settings for the SRV2 don't change, Maddie. They're always the same. You just turn on body, but that's like pretty much what we use always for, you know, any time frame. So you don't change any settings for the SRV2. I mean, the only difference you do is probably make it longer, the length to maybe 1,000, so it goes farther out. But it wouldn't really matter because the 4-hour time frame, it cuts off at the end of the week. So you can't even have it that long if you wanted to, right? Like if you're looking at UJ over here. So you can see how well, I mean, it kind of connects right here, but then once the weekend comes, it cuts off. So this is from Thursday, or sorry, this is the wrong time frame. That's the JPY. So let me just take these off real quick. If you're to use the SRV2, it wouldn't matter because the zones get cut off at the end of the week. So you can just have them set at, I mean, these are my settings here. We don't really change anything. It's the same default settings that we've been using. The only difference is show body levels, because if you don't have that on, you're not going to have zones. You're just going to have lines. Turn that on, you'll have lines, and then line length. So it goes across the entire screen. Man, see, it sucks. This is the same trade that we were looking for right here on the 1 hour. It's in pretty good profit too. It dropped about 320 pips. If I'm taking like a 9, I'd be up like maybe like, actually, yeah, I'd be up like 300 something right now. If I took this, actually, no, the lot sizes are different. So I'd probably be up, I mean, I'd probably be on 100K lot size. It's up about like 30 pips. I'd be up like maybe 147 at the moment, if that was the case. Yeah, so missed opportunity right there, unfortunately. But you guys did see the analysis there, right? A lot of these B1 continuations work pretty well on the Forex pairs on the 1 hour. 4 hour too sometimes, but they don't come up as often. And the thing I don't like about the 4 hours is that these moves are just way too big sometimes, like this right here. But a 70 pip move. So I'll continue sharing these moves with you guys. If I see anything here, I will share them with you. But they don't really come up as often as usual. So price is back to open. Here's the clean chart right here. As you guys can see, price hasn't really gone anywhere at all. Let me just update the zones over here real quick. Or not the zones, the high lows. It's pretty much just back into the same range it was in earlier. So this is where market opened. They got to the bottom, they got to the top, they got to the bottom, they got to the top. Big drop right here. Fake out right here, and it's literally back to where it was earlier. Yeah, Dejan said, damn, price is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Just going to watch for the rest of the session. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing the same. I'm looking for another entry because I just want to take one entry, but I'm not going to force anything. Just got to make sure that it's something good. But you can see price hasn't really gone anywhere. This is where market open. This is where price is at. So if you were to measure actual movement, it's only moved up about 400 pips since open. This blue line right here is where market opened at. And there just isn't anything for us to take. There's a lot of news around this area right here. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to push up slightly a bit. So slightly up. Looking for price to push slightly up. Retracement and continuation higher. So I'd probably look for price to push up, come back down, establish a low, provide a V1 continuation right here. And from there, I'll just ride that for a quick buy. We could possibly get an SR rejection scalp here too, but I'm probably going to hold off on that. These zones here are kind of messy. Like they're just all over the place. Too much to look at. I don't even know which zone's good or which one's bad. And there it goes. Price swings right back to opening price. So we're not really getting too much here. Price is kind of just where it's at from open. You can see the noise here. So basically, I'll keep this off just to keep it clean, but I'll keep the high lows on. So basically looking at this area right here, this is just a bunch of noise, right? If you guys can see how prices move. So price kind of came below here and it faked out. So just a lot of noise down here. Price came above, faked out right here. Price pretty much dropped right here to lure in some sellers and it faked out again down there. Now price is back up to here. And it just might be pulling right back down. It could be another fake out right here. And then it might come back down to opening price, which is going to be right here. It's just a super messy market. This whole week has been a mess. Just a reminder, this is NFP week. So this shouldn't really come as a surprise to you guys. Usually, as I mentioned, NFP week could be really good or it could be really bad. This week is proven to be really bad. There's been data issues. There's been a lot of these whipsaw moves, a lot of fake outs. Or a flat market. So yesterday the market was super flat. If you guys remember from the session on Wednesday, like market wasn't even moving at 1,000 pips. So let me just give you, let me show you the scale. So this is how much price moved today, right? It's not even 8 o'clock yet. Price moved about 3,000 pips. Yesterday, price only moved 1,000 pips. So you guys can see how much of a big difference prices moved from yesterday till today. This is just showing you the difference between yesterday's movement right here and today's movement. So you're getting a lot of volatility today, but it's a lot of like volatility with no direction. It's just going back and forth. I'm still looking for this setup right here. If price continues to push up higher, that's great. The thing we have to keep an eye out for is news right here at 7:30. So yeah, I would recommend just sitting on your hands for now, guys. Just be as patient as possible. I know it's hard to be patient when you're seeing a lot of other people post profits. Like for example, over here, some of you guys sent me some profits. Deswell, he said done for the day, locking the total profit of 5,750 for the day, which is great. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here profiting, and you guys are still doing well off the analysis from this morning. But for you guys here who aren't as experienced, with these types of markets, I would probably just sit out and wait for something better to come along. I know it's probably not what some of you want to hear, but it's for your own, safety, like for your own account. Because if you take trades here and you try to do what everybody else is doing, like some people are just listening to my analysis here and they know when to take trades. Like for example, right here, there's an SR rejection scalp, but I'm going to hold off on it because we have news coming up right here. Like if you really wanted to take the trade there, you could have taken it and you could be making profit. But to be on the safer side, I'd probably just recommend waiting and being patient for a better entry, because it's just not a good time to take entry right now. But yeah, great work right here, Deswell. Currently at 5,750 for the day. Yeah, Deswell just DM that to me. Some more profits over here from Patricia. She's currently, she said done for the day. She's currently at 9,130. So like Patricia did over here, she did take trades in the direction of bias. Our long-term bias was bullish here, and she pretty much waited for a lot of these buys to come up, and she locked in some pretty good profit. So nice work right there, Patricia. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. Deswell up 5,000. Scotty again over here, currently up 2,960. So it looks like you had a couple losses right here, but you recovered from it pretty nicely. So great work right there, Scotty. Other than that, I think that's about it for right now. If you guys have more profits, post that, feel free. Otherwise, we still don't have any entries here. As you guys can see, price is still bouncing around this area. Here we go as it comes back down lower. We're looking for the setup here, but it's coming right back to opening price. Opening price at this point. I'm going to markup. News price right there. 7:30 a.m. US news price. All right. Here goes price dumps even further back down. So it came back down to our target price point, which was opening price, right? Price pushed up, came back down. Here it is back at opening price. There's like literally no direction today since 6:30 market open. Market open over here at 6:30. Price kind of just bounced around a bit, came right back. It's right back at opening price. Let's see. Tyler's asking, hey Sean, have you gone over the Forex strategy on larger time frame on a recent mentoring session, or is it a video on the website so I can review? You can check it out on the website, Tyler. So it's not on the, well, we haven't gone over it during the mentoring session. I could go over it next week though. So on Monday, I'll go over it with you guys. Basically what I'm applying during the 4 hour, or not 4 hour, but on the higher time frames for Forex. I'm basically applying the intraday strategy. And let me just pull it up because I don't even remember myself because it's been so long. The only reason I've been doing this is because I've been getting kind of bored in the afternoon, right? I don't trade in the afternoon US30, so I just don't have a lot of free time to like come up with ideas. And the thing with trading is like if you really like trading, you'll always come up with new ideas, or you'll relay back to your old ideas, and then you'll figure out ways to make it better, or you'll find out ways to just reapply them if you stop applying them. So let me just move this over here real quick. Okay, so here's the course right here, Tyler. The strategy that I'm applying is the intraday strategy. So here is the okay, so this is what it's called, K2SR zone trading strategy. This is the one that I was applying on the 4 hour. That's one I showed you guys over here. I mean, it's not up here anymore, but the one that I was showing you that was from zone to zone, that's going to be this one right here. The other one that I'm applying on the 1 hour is going to be the official intraday strategy. So this is the very first strategy that I ever created and shared with you guys. I'm using like a bare bone application of it. I know there's like ways over here to use the there's like different variations to it, but I just use the original version. So if you want to go back and review it, you can go back, review it, then back test it yourself to see how you like it. And then during the mentoring session next Monday, I'll go over it in detail, like how I'm applying it. So yeah, this will get you like up to speed with like how the strategies work. They're very simple strategies. They're not that difficult at all. But I've made like some little tweaks to it, not really big tweaks. They're just, I've kind of like simplified it a little more. So I don't really use too many requirements like red flags and stuff like that. I kind of just trade through it because it's on the higher time frame. So yeah, if you guys want to check that out, those are the two Forex strategies there. This one here, I used to use this for every single Forex signal, right? So if you guys remember the results from like back then, I can't remember when was the last time I called a signal. I think I was still trading Forex last year, or I was still calling signals. I mean, it was mostly US30 at this time. Or actually, it's still here. So you can see right here that I stopped calling signals in about October. So I was calling signals pretty heavy January up until October, and then I stopped calling Forex signals in October. You can see the 0 pips right here. But even for that time, I still locked in a lot of pips. I locked in a total of 2,205 pips. We had 99 wins, 24 losses. I mean, if you were to count that up, 99 plus 24, it's 123. So 99 divided by 124, I had about a 80% win rate. So 80% win rate for a 1-to-1 risk reward. These are like set and forget type strategies. It's a pretty good win rate. I mean, if you just took every trade that I called during the signals, they all worked pretty well. And if you guys are wondering which strategy I was applying, it was this one right here. It was just one strategy. You guys can see I kind of weaned off it for a while. We made some pretty good profits and stuff from January, February, March, April. And then I started to focus more on US30 during this time. So this is why I stopped calling signals. And what happened was we had a lot of scammers basically stealing my signals and reselling them. So that's why I got kind of annoyed. And I was just like, I'm not going to do this anymore because I don't want people to steal my signals and, make money off my trades. So that's why I stopped calling signals. But I mean, now that I'm back on it, maybe I'll start calling signals again. Who knows? I'm not going to say any guarantees, but I've been hitting my Forex pairs like a lot. So maybe I will. I'll call maybe the 1 hour trades and the 4 hour trades, basically V1 continuations and SR rejection scalps. Yeah, Dezel said, please, Sean, bring back the signals. Yeah, no, I probably will. The thing is, I got stuck on like US30 here. And I just got used to having a lot of free time. Now I have too much free time. Like I don't do anything the entire day. I'll trade with you guys here from like 6:30 to 8. And then from 8 until like I go to sleep, I don't really have anything to do because I just trade in the morning with you guys, which is nice if I had something to do, but I don't have anything to do. I mean, I could either start calling Forex signals for you guys again, or I can go find a new hobby. I probably would rather just call Forex signals for you guys. So I'll probably do that. I mean, I got kind of bored. Like I try to get a bunch of different hobbies over time. Like I started buying guns, so I started getting into guns, and I got bored of that. I started to pick up golf. I got bored of that. The thing is, trading is like what I like to do. So I'm probably gonna just continue to trade throughout the day, but not US30. So yeah, Tyler said guns is a great hobby. Golf is frustrating. Dejan said join NASCAR. Kenny said, yeah, bring back the signals and make trading great again. Yeah, so I'll probably start calling signals for you guys again. I'm probably going to focus on like maybe 1 or 2 strategies, which is probably going to be the V1 continuation and the SR zone strategy. But I'll just have to get back in swing with it, because it's been a while since I've traded Forex. Anyways, back to US30, guys. I know we're kind of going off topic, but there's nothing for us to take right here. If you guys can see, we have a sell signal here. There's no V1 that came up here. There's technically an SR rejection scalp, but it was right at opening price. There's just too many things here that are like of issue, right? So we have opening price right here. And this is it's just a red flag. This whole area is a red flag. So we can't trade anywhere right here within this area. This is all like huge red flag. But yeah, guys, even if I start calling signals again, things aren't going to change. I'm still going to focus mainly on US30 in the morning. So like I'll trade with you guys every day live still, and we'll still have mentoring sessions. But I'll just add signals onto it because I don't know, I like having those set and forget trades. And also I think it's beneficial for everybody. Not everybody likes US30. I kind of closed it off to just US30, but I mean, there's a lot of money to be made on different pairs as well. Like if you guys have my watch list here, I have a lot of pairs here to trade. And for the week, I'm doing pretty good. So I haven't screenshotted my profits so far, but I mean, maybe I could. Let me see if I can pull it up. The thing that I hate about Forex.com is that it requires me to sign in every time, and I always forget my password. All right, so let me see if I could just share this with you guys. And it's more of a consistent growth type, trading style. So let me just screenshot this real quick. So this is basically my profits for Forex so far. I'm still focusing on US30, guys, so don't worry. You guys aren't missing anything here. It's just in the red flag area, so I have time to talk about other stuff. So this is basically my Forex trades for the week so far. The risk to reward on these strategies are a lot better. So like, for example, if you guys don't like US30 because you guys don't like the negative risk to reward, I mean, it does work, but it only works for certain people who can follow directions, right? The risk reward here on Forex is like, it's a lot easier. So like you can see from, this is just for this week so far. I've locked in each trade. I'm taking about a 1 to 3% risk, depending on like how risky I want to be about the trade. You can see right here, I have like a lot of bigger profits. 412. This was like a 2 to 1. This was like a 1.5 to 1. This was like a 1 to 1. So like I made like 136, 278, 412. This is just from this week. You can see the dates here on the 2nd. So basically 31st, 1st, 2nd, and then yesterday or this morning, 3rd, I had one loss. So I'm still a heavy profit for the week. And these are just set and forget trades. Like I know before in the past, I would give you guys like multiple TPs. For these, I just let them run to TP or stop loss. So just one TP, one stop loss. I let the trade run for as long as it needs to, and then I let it hit full TP. So yeah, if the US30 trades are not for you, and I don't blame you guys, it's not an easy asset to trade. The Forex pairs might work better for you guys because you can just take them and let them run. Like this one right here, if I was to take this trade, I wouldn't even be looking at it. I would take the trade and just let it run. Same with this one right here. If I'm to take this trade right here, I would just take the trade and then let it do what it needs to do. They're just different types of assets. I mean, if you're kind of like, but the problem with this too is that you guys have to teach yourself not to look at your phone every 10 minutes, right? Or every second. Because I've seen some people who take trades on the 4-hour, but they're still looking at their phone like every second to see if they made it into profit. These trades, you literally have to set and forget them. You just got to take them and then let them run. And then come back like, a couple hours later, you're either going to make profit or you're going to lose. And I'll try to give updates for specific trade as well. Anyways, back to US30. I mean, US30 has been frustrating this whole week. I think this is kind of what pushed me away from US, not really pushed me away, but kind of made me want to go and trade Forex because this whole week has been like trash, right? Monday was a lot of crazy movements. Tuesday was a lot of sideways movement. Yesterday was just market wasn't moving at all. Today, again, market's moving pretty crazy, but it's not really going anywhere. So here's a clean chart. Oh, what the hell? I just realized I have 2 1-minute charts. Let me close this one. All right, anyways, here's the clean chart right here. So if you just measure this from where price is currently at, this is opening price, and where price is currently at, it's only moved about 500 pips. Full range, it's moved a lot. So like up here, it's moved about like 87 points, which is 870 pips. And then down here, it's moved about 2,160 points or 2,160 pips. Yeah, it's not really any like direction set today. I mean, market opened right here at 6:30 and there hasn't really been much direction. Price just pretty much went back to where it was earlier. But here's the good thing. It looks like price is kind of squeezing a bit, or I mean, not really. It's just ranging now. So the good thing about the range is that when price does go into a range like it is right now, it's preparing for a breakout. So pretty big range right here. As price starts to squeeze tighter and tighter, then it's going to be ready for a breakout. But right now it's just going sideways. And then it just keeps pulling right back to these red flags. There's like a lot of areas here that we can't trade. So we have news price, opening price. Just this whole area here is a huge red flag. Like, let's try to make it a little. Actually, you can't even see it right here. Or I guess you can. See, red flag around this area right here. You can't take any trades around this whole area. It's just a red flag right here because there's a news price, opening price, this whole area. So even if you were to find any entries around this point, you can't take anything because it's a huge red flag. There's just nothing for us to take here. Price is in between it, but we just can't take anything at that point. So we just got to wait for this to actually do something. We need price to get away from this area. That's really what it is. It needs to get out of this little bubble right here and make its way out. Yes, Madhu said V1 on the 15-minute and 30-minute, and he also mentioned that data is different on currency.com though, so never mind. He was on a different broker. Yeah, I mean, either way, there's like all these red flags right here, even if we were even if we were to see those entries right there, Madhu. Yeah, Deswell said, yeah, Sean, on days like today, 1-3 Forex signals this week has been crazy, and NFP tomorrow. Yeah, no, definitely Deswell. Yeah, I just want to keep the playing field open to everybody. That's also one thing. Because Forex is still profitable. That's where I started trading Forex. I just don't know if I would take those trades on my FTMO because it would eat up my margin. I'd probably have to have separate accounts for Forex and then separate accounts for US30. Yeah, Dejan said possible SR rejection scalp right here. I don't know. I don't like how the candle's closing, but we'll see. Got about 5 seconds left. The wick on top's too big, so it does not look like it's going to be an entry, unfortunately. Yep, no SR rejection scalp right there. Here's the UJ position. I'm going to go and look if there's any other positions here that we could possibly take. Nothing there. Just going to go down the list. Nothing there. So if you guys are wondering what I'm looking at, it's not that difficult because I'm looking over here for momentum, right? So first thing I'm looking for is momentum. If I see a sell momentum, I'm only looking for sells, right? In order for me to look for a sell, I'm looking for a high. So if I see a red signal there, I'm looking for a high. There's no high here, so there's no entry. Odd NZD, red sell signal, no high, no entry. Or actually, this right here might be no. I was going to take this for a possible intraday entry, but here's one thing that I started to use that I haven't really mentioned is I look back to the previous entries. So for example, you see a invalid red momentum right here and the red trend meter. You can see that there's no entry there. So I wouldn't take this here for an actual intraday entry because I'm looking for a continuation of direction. So if I see an intraday entry hit previously, then I would take this here for a sell, but I'm not going to take it because the previous one didn't hit. Buy signal right there pending, so no entry. This is going to be a possible entry for a buy. The thing is, I don't really like CAD CHF. This is one of the pairs that I don't necessarily like to trade. So I'm probably not going to take this. I'll mark it up. It's a V1 continuation. Double body right here. Momentum for a green right there. I might take this pair off of my watch list. It's not a good pair. It moves too slow. And the CHF pairs usually move kind of weird. So nothing right there. Thanks, Maddie. Maddie said SR rejection scalp right there. So I'm not in this position, guys. Maddie just referred to it right now. I'm going to try to reanalyze it, see if I'm missing anything or if there's anything here that doesn't look right where this could possibly not play out. If anything, I might make a late entry, but I'm going to think about it right now as I watch this kind of bounce around. So let's see, we have buy signal right here, Trend meter is green. Wick rejection off. The structure right here. Let me check the candle on MT4. Candle looks kind of okay. Here, let's see. I want to see how this candle here closes. If anything, I might make a late entry and make it and ride its way back up. But if it doesn't, if it hits stop loss right here, then I'm just not going to take it. So I'll see if it swings back up. If it swings back up, possibly, but if not, then I'm just going to skip it. I'm not in this position yet, guys. Maddie did refer to this as the SR rejection. It does fit the criteria. The only difference here is the direction of bias, right? Bias here is kind of all over the place. So let's see if maybe I can make a late entry here. No. I just don't like how price is moving right here. I mean, I like how it's bouncing off the structure right here because it looks like it's going to shoot up. But I want to wait for it to come up. I'm not going to make an entry like down below. I'm going to wait for it to actually push up and then maybe make an entry at actual entry point. Yeah, Maddie said he doesn't like the movements up there. Me neither. So I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to sit out. Man, this market this week is like, hasn't been good at all. What I'd be more inclined to take would be like a V1, right? Like a V1 continuation. So if I got like a double body right here, then yeah, I'd probably want to take it. But these high-low quick scalps are not necessarily the best entries right now. The thing with the high-low quick scalps, guys, that you guys need to understand is that like it's meant for ranging markets, right? The market is ranging, but right now it's not ranging anymore. It was ranging earlier. So earlier it was ranging right here. The entry came up above here, right? So it's no longer ranging. At that point, you kind of have to switch strategies. When the market's moving directional, you're looking for variations in V1 continuations. For the SR rejection, you're looking for ranging markets. So I think that's the problem, is that like, so here's the main strategy you apply during the live session. Heavy trending market conditions, variations, right? Variation V1, V1 continuation. This is what we're looking to apply right here because the market is trending. It's just not really moving smoothly. It is trending because it'll trend up and it'll trend down and it'll trend right back up. So this is the strategy that we're actually looking to apply here. The problem is like some people are trying to apply like the SR rejection scalp during trending markets, and it just doesn't work like that, right? Because this strategy is meant for ranging and consolidating markets. Right here, price was in a range, but that entry that Maddie identified was up here. So price was no longer in a range after that. It was now moving directional. So you're basically looking to apply this one and a high-low quick scalp. Those are the two main things that you're looking for. Maddie said there was a high-low quick scalp right here, and it hit full TP. So I didn't catch that, but I mean, if you guys caught it, great. There's a high-low quick scalp right there. Maddie took it, hit his full TP. Nice. Yeah, no, solid work right there, Maddie. See, you can maybe find another one. Price continues to move along. But yeah, guys, so, what I was explaining right now is you probably shouldn't really be looking for SR rejection scalps. You're probably looking for these two right here. High-low quick scalps and V1 continuations. All right, so price is now at the price is now at the sessions up here, so it's gonna be hard to look for some entries. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said he was going to go up to sessions. Just the SR was a small fake out, or actually just a small pullback to pivots and push. Yeah, no, and I agree with you too, Maddie. So just make sure that you guys are applying the right strategies for like the right market conditions. Price has been trading for a while right now. So if you were to measure this from here, basically from here to here, you can see our price is trending up, right? So you're basically looking for V1 continuations, V1 continuations and high-low quick scalps. Yeah, Maddie said still hasn't tapped sessions, might get a pullback, then quick scalp back up, but it's almost 8, so he's out. Yeah, same here. I'm gonna scan for some entries here real quick. CAD JPY, CHF JPY, Euro on, no entry there. Euro CAD, no entry there. Euro CHF, no entry there. EG, nothing there. EJ, nothing there. EN, nothing there. EU, nothing there. GA, nothing there. GC, nothing there. GC, HF, nothing there. GJ, nothing there. GN, nothing there. GU, nothing there. NZD CAD, nothing there. So as you guys can see, it just becomes repetition, right? Like when you guys are trading these Forex pairs, you're just going down the list. I have a whole watch list here. If you want to download this, it's on the website. I've pretty much analyzed all these pairs to identify what works best, right? Because I have a script here that, I mean, basically, like, what was I doing here? Yeah, so this is like for the basic strategy, right? This is how I'm able to determine, what's a good pair and what isn't a good pair, right? So like with this set here, let me see if I can change the settings. Okay. So this right here is not very profitable pair to trade, right? This is a 49% win rate. So I probably wouldn't want to trade this very much. NZD JPY, 49% win rate. I think I need to change the data here. I don't think the data here is proper, because when I did the testing on these pairs, this stuff was actually a lot higher. It was like, okay, so this is the problem here. So you can see how this here, it identified a entry here. There's actually no entry here because it's an invalid signal. So I need to have my brother work on this. But when I first created this script, I used this to determine, what the profitability was for this. Each strategy here has at least like a 65 to 75% win rate. I got to change a couple things here though. I don't know how to do it. I got to talk to my brother. But yeah, this backtest script basically shows you, how profitable how the strategy is. Like odd CAD here has a 55% or 50% win rate, even though it's incorporating even the invalid entries. Odd JPY, 52% win rate, even with the invalid entries. 56% win rate. I just gotta have my brother play around with it to fix it a bit. And he's also making a script for the V1s. So he's making a backtest script like this for the V1s so that he can see what the win rate is for these. Euro odd, 51% win rate. The thing with this is like, this is kind of how you could figure out what works best on like other time frames as well. So like if you go on the 30-minute over here, win rate's not super high. Then you just got to change a couple of things, like Euro JPY over here, 56% win rate. Like if I could put this on an automatic trader, like an automated trading, I'll just take whatever has the highest win rate and take every trade. I'll end up in profit at some point, 6%. Yeah, like these here all have, like all the Euro pairs have about like 54% win rate. And this is taking invalid entries as well. EJ has 56% win rate. I could pretty much just run this on an auto trader and just let the trades run for me. All the GBP pairs over here, pretty high win rate. And that's kind of how I figure out what strategy works best. Like I do a lot of testing to figure out what's like the best possible outcome. You guys can see when I change the time frames over here, this is where you can kind of figure out what what works best. So if I just do 30-minute, it's not so great. If I do something like do something like this, 5, 10, 30. No. So I think for something like this, probably the higher time frames would work best. But anyways, I was just going over that. Going back to US30, there's still no entries for us to take here. There was a possible, no, actually there wasn't even a V1 there. It's right at the sessions. So we can't even take any buys here. It's 8:02 right now, guys. I'll try to hang on for a little bit. If there's anything that comes up after 8, then great. Maybe I'll hop into it. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'll probably have to play around with this and see what works good. I mean, it seems like the higher time frames have like a huge impact on like profitability. Weekly. Yeah, I'll have to talk to my brother about this because it seems like we just got to change it where it doesn't take into account the invalid signals. Because if I can get this automated, definitely be a huge game changer. Keep back testing. Never even tried this function before. Yeah, TradingView is like it's TradingView has gotten super advanced since when I first created these strategies. Back then, these backtesting strips weren't very strong. Like they were kind of hard to use. But now the graphs here are actually pretty good. I'll have to make some changes, but I'll talk to my brother about that. The V1 just hit. Is that the UJ one? Or are you talking about US30? Rashida's, let's see. Is it at 8:04? Yeah, I don't see one right here right now. I thought this one would have been a V1, but it was touching the session. So either way, it still wouldn't have played out. So for the 10-minute daily over here, Jonathan, it was actually for a sell right here. So this would have been the daily right here. But I mean, the way that the market's moving, I mean, obviously I wouldn't be looking to take any dailies here. You could look for V1s here. I've seen V1s on US30 that work pretty well. So let me see if I can find one here. So we have a sell signal right here. And there was a bunch of V1s that came up right here, actually. So there's a V1 right there. Possibly one right there. I don't know if that was one. Another one right there. And another one right there. But yeah, the daily, I mean, it's hard to take when there's no overall bias. Looking at the bias right now, let me look at sentiment. Sentiment is currently 65% short, so it hasn't really moved too much, still around that same area. Sentiment's currently down 131 points. So these are conflicting. So you wouldn't really be able to take the daily here, Jonathan, because this right here is indicating to take a buy. This is indicating to take a sell. They're contradicting. Typically, when we took the daily, we would take it if they would line up, right? If you had this indicating a buy, like if it was up 100 points, and for this over here indicating a buy as well. You know what I was thinking is, or I mean, I'm always looking for new ideas, and I see these patterns on the charts. What I started to notice here is when you have a mixed bias, like say for example here, this is bearish and this is bullish, right? Typically for the daily, you could actually do the opposite. So like for example, right here, this isn't the entry, but this right here was a daily. You would actually do the opposite and take a buy instead. And you can see right there how it's full TP. So when it's matched up, you take in the direction of the trade, but when it's opposite, you would just do the opposite. I think yesterday was opposite too, right? I can't remember. Actually, I don't know. I can't remember if yesterday was opposite. So maybe that's something if you guys want to go back and test. I mean, you have to go back and like review what the bias was. But if it's like the same, like I don't know if the 31st was the same. I think the 31st was like, it was like bullish, right? So if that's the case and it was bullish, so like you do the opposite here too. We get a sell signal, but the opposite of that would be buying, right? So instead of selling, you would have bought, and this would hit TP as well. So I just started to see a lot of these patterns in the chart. I mean, whenever I look for strategies or I look to make things better, I look for solutions. So for the daily here, we wouldn't take the sell because obviously there was no alignment with the direction since they were kind of mixed. You could have done the opposite and taken the buy here instead. It's kind of similar to the counter trend trade, but there's just like a bunch of different ways to apply it. Yeah, Jonathan said yesterday he took it for a buy and it hit. Nice. All right, guys. So I don't see anything going on here. Let me see if there's any other entries here that I could possibly take. So here's a problem again. We're always stuck between these two red flags. So we do have a sell signal here. And I would be looking to take a V1. But even if we got to that point, the session is right here. So our price come down, come back up, come back down further. This is where I would want to take my sell, right? But unfortunately, we can't take it right here because, there's a news price right here. So, I mean, I guess I'll hang on for like a few seconds or a few moments. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. If we don't get a variation V1, or if we get a buy signal right here, then I'm just going to get off because there's no reason for me to wait. Does not look like we're going to have any entries here at any time soon. As I continue to look around, let me just check real quick, see if there's any other entries here. I don't think there's anything else for us to take here. Actually, there's a possible buy here. But this isn't going to come up for like another 50 minutes, so it's got a long time to go. I'll just keep it marked up there. That green. Sell. Buy. Possible entry here. So I'll keep an eye out for these. Possible entry. But other than that, I think that's about it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I think this might be it for today. There's no highs here established. It doesn't look like we're going to have any entries here. If price drops too low, we're not going to be able to take any entries here. I know there's all right, price is pushing up slightly. All right, so it doesn't look like we're gonna get anything. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. Unfortunately, we couldn't take any official trades. I took one trade today, a partial move for the breakout. I had a weird profit on it, as you guys saw earlier this morning. Yeah, it's some weird profit right here, obviously. So, I mean, overall, I'm in profit for the day. That one account pretty much carried over all the other accounts, but still, it's still a weird trading day, still a weird trading week. That's not going to count as an official trade, obviously, because it wasn't an official trade. It's just one of the trades I took, but unfortunately, no official trades again today. It's just been a wacky week, wacky NFP week, so it's not any surprise here. Hopefully tomorrow will be a bit smoother. I mean, I don't expect it to be smoother because it is NFP, but maybe we'll be able to take at least one or two trades, during that period. So other than that, I'm going to wrap it up for the day, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me at sean@kodikaitrades.com, or you can message me on Telegram. I'll continue to work on these other Forex strategies. And then when we have our mentoring session on Monday, we'll go over this stuff in detail. So maybe we'll go over like the live session strategies quickly, and then we'll go over the 4-hour zone SR zone strategy and the 1-hour intraday plus the V1 continuation, so that you guys can apply this, on your own time, or maybe I'll start calling signals again, just to give you guys opportunity to take other types of trades. Because I know US30 is not, it's not good for everybody. I've seen some people who have done good with it. I've seen some people who have done horrible with it. But US30 just isn't the, it's not for everybody. So other than that, guys, I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So tomorrow will be the last day of this trading week. It'll be NFP. Let me see if there's any other news for today, in case you guys decide to continue trading. We have we have nothing else for today. So nothing on my calendar here for Forex Factory. My FX book, we have some news at 8:30. It's 8-week bill auction, 4-week bill auction, not high impact, it's low impact. So shouldn't be a big deal. But other than that, I think that might be about it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow, same place, same time, as we close out the trading week for November week 1.